The Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer has leaked online because Marvel, despite all their efforts, cannot seem to get anything right nowadays. They can't seem to stop these leaks no matter how much they try. But I'm sure Kevin Feige has found the person who leaked it, taken him behind the woodshed, and popped a bullet in his cranium already. This trailer has revealed 4 villains. 4 villains. Maybe even 5 actually, now that I think about it. And one of them is not what you think, y'all. This trailer is really weird before I get into it. And I'm 99.999% sure this is real. A lot of people are saying this might be AI, this is fake. It's filmed like it's filmed from a microwave. It's terrible quality, so that's why people are also questioning it. But the way the trailer goes, it seems like the kind of trailer the MCU would put out as a first teaser. You know what I mean? I believe it. We're gonna break this whole thing down, y'all. Because you're barely gonna be able to see some of the shots here. There's no HDR shot. Like I said, it's filmed from a microwave. Whoever filmed this did not give a shit about giving us good quality. He just didn't. It starts with Peter narrating, "Hey, it's Peter Parker. You may have forgotten who I am," referencing what happened in No Way Home. And then he mentions, "Well, I'm the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man." And we get to see these really cool slow motion shots. Looks like the VFX hasn't been fully done, but slow-mo shots mimicking the iconic comic book pages. Him grabbing that one dude, rescuing him. Even the artist retweeted this design as well. This is real. This trailer is real, okay? Then you see shots of him looking at like Zendaya in a restaurant or something. I can't really make it out, but he's saying something. Sometimes you just have to do certain things even if they break your heart. Something like that. And there's some really weird romance music playing in the background. But then you hear narration from a character. A villainous character. None other than Sadie Sink. And she says basically, "You're a mess, Spider-Man. Stay out of my way, or else it won't be just your friends who don't know you." Interesting. And it looks like she's playing some shapeshifter that's being hunted down by soldiers. And we're going to get to exactly what. But she's wearing a hood. It looks like she has some crazy powers. We're gonna break it all down. You see this bunch of red ninjas fighting Spider-Man in like some kind of, what's it, like a cell or something? That's the Hand, y'all. That's the Hand. That's one of the other villains. That's one of the villainous organizations anyways. You get a shot. I think that's Bruce Banner laid out on a table. He's saying, "Yo, I need help," from Spider-Man. He's also apparently says, "Are you one of my students to Spider-Man?" I knew he would be a professor in Peter's college in New York. I knew this would happen, y'all. And apparently something's going down. Shit's going berserk. One of his personalities is coming out, I think. Probably the Grey Hulk, who's also rumored to be one of the people Spider-Man and Punisher fight in this, okay? Then you see this brother, Tombstone. He is looking very menacing while saying a quote. "Every spider has 3 lives," and then after that, the third one's up some weird villainous cliche line like that, or some shit like that. Then you see Scorpion in a prison outfit smiling. You see Spider-Man on the tank with animatronic lenses that match his facial expressions, which is cool to see, Deadpool style. He's on the tanks and shit. We saw these in the background footage, and we saw these skull logos on the tanks that were red. Looks like that's the Hand. That's the Hand's logo. He's getting hit by a truck. He's dodging all this debris in cars, and then we get the Spider-Man Brand New Day logo. And then the final scene in the trailer is Frank shooting up some people, and Spider-Man saying, "Frank, what the hell are you doing here?" And he's like, "Saving your ass, bro. What do you think?" And then Spider-Man's like, so disrespectful. Really awesome to see Frank Castle back. What the hell does this all mean? I honestly don't know for sure, but here's my basic summary of what I've seen, okay? Sadie Sink. A lot of people were disappointed at the idea of Sadie Sink being... A lot of people were hating on this on Twitter, okay? Saying, "Sadie Sink's a villain. Look at this baby face. She's so lame." Look, I'm a big fan of Sadie Sink, okay? I found it disappointing, like, that's the reveal of what we get with this teaser trailer. But it's the first teaser trailer, and she's not the villain. I don't believe she's the main villain. She will be a villain for the first half of the movie and then team up with Spider-Man later. I guarantee you that. I don't like the idea of her being the main villain. That would suck and be lame, I understand. Here are all the villains that we've been shown in the trailer. Tombstone, Scorpion, Boomerang apparently was in there. I didn't really see him, but he's there. The Hand, it's Sadie Sink, who's temporarily going to be a villain, okay? No Wilson Fisk or the Anti-Vigilante Task Force is going to be in this. They'll be referenced here and there, but I don't think they're going to play a principal role in this like we thought, okay? There's going to be a freaking gang war between multiple gangs, one of them including the Hand. Multiple criminal organizations are going to war. I believe the Hand will either be working in tandem with Tombstone or fighting Tombstone's gang. And then Spider-Man and Punisher will be caught up in the middle of it, okay? Tombstone will probably be the main villain, and Scorpion and Boomerang, these assassins, will be working under him. And he's going to be using them to take down Spider-Man. That's what I believe is going to be the truth, okay? I believe he's going to run a drug trafficking ring, all centered around this Deox-3, this drug that he uses to enhance his skin and shit and strength, you know? That's what I think. He's going to be doing experiments with this kind of thing. That's going to be a big plot point in the movie. The Punisher is going to be involved in trying to take down various crime lords, but his role connects to Sadie Sink, and we're going to get to that. Sadie Sink is apparently playing a rogue meta, a mutant, or someone with powers that's being hunted down by Damage Control, one of the companies we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home that was going after Peter, okay? This dude, my boy from Severance, is playing the new head of Damage Control, who's going to be hunting down the rogue mutant or metahuman. We don't know what she is. They've been keeping an eye on her for a while, and in the course of their investigation, Punisher catches wind and starts protecting her. We were told that Punisher would have some kind of sidekick that was a female. I don't know if she's going to be a full-on sidekick, but she's definitely going to be that role with Punisher while he's protecting her. She, Punisher, Bruce Banner, and Peter are going to be the subject of Damage Control's investigation. They're going to basically be what the anti-vigilante task force was supposed to be, in my opinion. Now, Sadie Sink, just tell him in the trailer, stay out of my way, Spider-Man. It looks like she's not going after Spider-Man, so therefore she's not a principal villain to him. She's going to be more of an anti-hero that's going after some of the other villains, trying to kill them. And Spider-Man wants to stop her. Oh, I can save her, from herself type bullshit. When I first saw this, I was like, okay, it looks like she has been watched by Damage Control. Maybe she escaped from a lab that was doing experiments and she got powers. Maybe Deox 3 was being used on her, the same thing that Tombstone used on himself, and he's experimenting. Who knows? And she escaped, and Damage Control has been after her ass. And she also has a role in Avengers Secret Wars, which is why I believe she's not playing a villain. She's going to be one of the heroes helping the Avengers in the fucking Secret Wars movie. So for that reason, I don't think she's a villain. A lot of people thought she was the Shabathra, whatever the fuck her name was. The wasp queen that kills spiders and takes their spiritual energy, bro. I don't know anything about her. What I do know is Shathra is like a predatory deity. She's like a wasp deity. She was rumored to be a major villain, played by Sadie, who targets Peter to devour him spiritually and physically. And she's a shapeshifter that manipulates people's perceptions and represents chaos against the web of life. I don't think she's any of that. And I'm pretty sure it's been debunked. That was fake news created as a purposeful leak by Marvel. The other big rumor is she's Jean Grey. That's the other thing. I don't know, because she has red hair or something, and people just, the mutant saga is coming, so they might introduce her. The fuck? I'm not discounting the idea that she could be Jean Grey, because at this point, Marvel could do anything. They brought back Steve Rogers, bro, to Avengers Doomsday as the lead character. I don't doubt that they would do this. I have no idea what the fuck Jean Grey would possibly be doing in a Spider-Man story like this. It's not like she's been introduced, or the other X-Men have been introduced yet, from the other variants. It makes no sense. What the hell is she doing here? I don't understand it whatsoever. There are hints given to us that she's a very powerful being that could have abilities like Jean Grey. The Damage Control has been monitoring her for a very long time, indicating that, yeah, this is someone we need to keep an eye on. She's very, very powerful. She knows who Spider-Man is. Everyone forgot who Spider-Man is, not her. And she apparently hints at the idea of she can make Spider-Man and others forget who he is too, hinting at some reality warping powers, which makes me think maybe she is Jean Grey. I don't fucking know. What I truly think is happening is everyone has it wrong, y'all. I go, this could age like milk, but I'm gonna say it anyways. My lens is... I gotta staple this. I tried sewing it in, man. It didn't work. She might be playing a lesser-known villain anti-hero with powers that was experimented on by Tombstone or was exposed to his Deox 3 formula and escaped and now is on the run from Damage Control. Maybe Damage Control was involved. Seedy corporate government, unification type shit was happening there, and they were experimenting, creating super soldiers or some bullshit, I could see that. I don't see her being Jean Grey. I don't understand how this could be possible. Now, whoever she is, she definitely has the power to maybe, and this is what's rumored, to make Hulk go berserk. To trigger a gray Hulk persona. Which would be fucking weird, but yes. Trigger a persona of him that's akin to this universe's Grey Hulk. And therefore, Spider-Man and Punisher would have to fight him. See, now we have the Grey Hulk entering into this, and allegedly Jean Grey and all these other villains. What the hell is this movie about? Can someone this? None of this ties together. Sadie Sink's apparently Jean Grey, on the run, being helped by the Punisher, who wants to kill a bunch of people as well. Scorpion, Boomerang are working for Tombstone. The Hand's somehow in there too, and then you have Grey Hulk. What the fuck is this movie about? This plot makes no sense. The biggest worries I have with this that seem to be established are Sadie Sink is playing one of these anti-hero girls who's like, I can save her. It's like a cliche, and maybe she'll have a love interest with Peter, which is such a redundant plotline. But maybe they do it. Maybe this is like them doing that instead of Black Cat. No, she's not playing Black Cat. She has powers. Hulk being a puppet who gets whooped again, similar to Age of Ultron when Wanda made him go crazy and Hulkbuster had to knock him out. and there's too many plot points. We have too many villains. This seems very convoluted, and I have a feeling they're going to tie it up together, and I'm going to be wrong about 50% of this, and so are the people on Twitter, but it just seems like there's way too much going on here. I honestly thought, and I think this is what would work, is Tombstone will be the main villain. Scorpion is his guy, his main dude, his new assassin. He's given him a new suit and all that. Basically, Tombstone wants to take power back for guys like him because Wilson Fisk has zapped it all from all the criminal overlords, you know? And Tombstone's one of the people defying Wilson Fisk. He's trying to build his own empire. Scorpion is his main man to do it. Tombstone has inroads to technology companies that are creating armor like the one Scorpion has. So he builds that suit for Scorpion. Scorpion becomes his major hitman. They're coming after the likes of Peter, Frank, and many different vigilantes in town. Damage Control basically would be playing the same role that Fisk's anti-vigilante task force is, which is making things a lot harder for the vigilantes than they need to be, while the criminals get to run it all. No to the Hulk. What the fuck is the Hulk even in this? No, get out. You can be the Professor as a cameo. I would not want her to play such a big role that she's taking away from Peter's story and being like, oh, this is my story, I'm getting revenge and Peter has to save me, similar to what Catwoman was in the Batman 2022. I don't know. It just seems a bit weird to me that that her character would be this. Again, I could be wrong, but based on that trailer, I think that's what's happening, y'all. She wants to take revenge on somebody. Peter wants to stop her from losing herself in the revenge, and he's like, she threatens him, you know? That's what I could see happening. Unless she's a full-on villain, which I don't think is happening at all because she's in Secret Wars. I don't think she's playing a villain in Secret Wars. Unless she's a full-on villain trying to literally kill Spider-Man. Unless we have a Chainsaw Man Reze thing happening, if you all know, you know. It honestly just seems like a street-level story where she's not a cosmic entity or anything like that, but she's against Peter Parker early in the movie, okay? And then she turns to his side at the end. You know, they embrace at the end or some shit. Also, apparently the leak trailer shows Peter in a cocoon and organic webbing. So, Peter Parker is becoming more and more powerful and more spider-like. More and more like Tobey Maguire, but even worse, he's waking up in web cocoons. The fuck? That's another interesting detail. Which, by the way, if he's waking up in a cocoon and he's dreaming in such a way that allows him to create cocoons, that makes me think he's going to have visions of the web of life and meet the representative who would be there in place of Madam Web. I don't think they're bringing Madam Web into this after what Sony did to that character. So there might be some cosmic aspects there. Who knows? I have no idea what the plot of this movie is still. I have fuck all idea. All I know is Punisher and Spider-Man team up. Sadie Sink is an anti-hero who's being protected by Frank, and Peter's going to save her as well. And I think Tombstone's the main villain. That's what I think is the plot so far from what I've seen, okay? Sorry. Marvel's a fucking mess. Marvel's a fucking mess right now with these trailers, alright? That's all I'm going to say. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.